Told you guys I would show you how I load my strop with this diamond compound and maybe get some feedback from you on a better way to do it. Just want to go through real quick and show you this guy. I coated this in CBN emulsion. I use quite a bit of it on this DLT strop. I've used it maybe once or twice. I really can't tell much difference between it and the white compound, but I did load it. And the reason I did that is because that leather is a little coarser than the leather that I got from Chef Knives to Go. This stuff is ultra smooth, and I don't know if the leather texture makes a difference on the performance. So I'm very quickly going to load this up with the CBN emulsion, and then we'll get on the diamonds. The stuff is just like a liquid water with the emulsion inside of it. You can see it's kind of caked up right here in the corner, maybe. So I'm just going to shake it up real good. Now with all of these diamond pastes, I just use my fingers to spread it, and then I take a plastic putty knife and scrape it off. With this CBN emulsion, it's like I said, like water. All you got to do is just put a few drops on and it spreads like water, which is great. Real easy to apply. Real easy to clean off your finger. And of course the key here is a light coat. So they say. How much of a difference does it make? I really don't know. I put a pretty heavy coat. Well, not a heavy coat, but I put a nice amount on my other strop to see how it would work out. I didn't go cheap on it. I think that's more than enough, probably too much in some people's eyes. So that's the CBN. I'll now stick this off to the side to dry. Let me get this mess cleaned up, get it off my fingers, and we'll go right onto the diamond. I'm probably going to apply this in two ways. The first way, I'm going to show you how I originally did it, and then the second way is what I was informed on my comment section of my video. I was informed that you can take a little bit of oil and either dab it on your strop, get your strop a little saturated, or dab it on the actual paste and help lubricate it. Now this stuff, I don't know if it's just dried out. I don't know what the deal is, but the consistency is not very good or conducive for spreading. And again, the idea is you want to get as thin a layer as possible. Maybe it's the texture of the leather, I don't know. It doesn't like to spread. It gets like a Play-Doh-y feel. It's hard to describe, but you can see it gets kind of gummy. I've tried this stuff on balsa as well as basswood, and I honestly can't tell a difference. It just doesn't, in my opinion, just doesn't really work very well. It's great for removing a burr. On that end, it works perfect. It'll get rid of a burr, no problem. But polishing, I just don't see it. I watch these guys on the Edge Pro using these 1 micron, 2 micron Strops with diamond paste, and they get these amazingly mirror polished edges. But when I use it freehand, I just don't see it. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe I'm applying it incorrectly. Who the hell knows? So what I'm doing is I'm trying to spread it to all the sides. I tend to ride the sides quite a bit, so I want to make sure they've got that paste on them. There's some metal stuck in that strop. Now that was 1 micron. This is the 0.5. I washed my hands really well. Just going to do the same thing. Just going to try to apply a thin coat. And just work this into the leather. Now this one isn't as pasty and as Play-Doh-y as that one, so maybe that one's an old dried up formula and this one's the way it should be. I don't know. Maybe some of you diamond connoisseurs out there can tell me. I got some forward debris on there. Get that out. Again, I really want to get the sides because I like to ride those sides. There we go. Ready to rock and roll with the 0.5. Let me get cleaned up. I'll come right back. Last but certainly not least, 0.25. Now this stuff also has that Play-Doh-y feel. The first time I used this, I got like an air bubble in it and I had to push on it really hard and the stuff spat out all over the strop. Hopefully, hopefully we won't have a repeat of that because it sucked. I'm going to stop right there and see if it spreads out as well as the 0.5. Because I used way too much on that 0.5 strop. I had quite a bit of waste. Yeah, it looks like it spreads pretty good. I'll work what I got in before I add any more. This one's kind of a toss between the 1 micron and the 0.5. It's got a little bit of that Play-Doh-y texture, but it spreads much easier like the 0.5 micron. So it might be getting old. It might need, I don't know if you can refresh this stuff or not, but if you can, it might need something to refresh the moisture content in it. So I'm going to massage this in really well. There we go. Now, like I said, I'm going to let these dry probably for about, I don't know, an hour or so. And I'll come back and I'll scrape them with the putty knife and remove all that excess. So we'll pick it up when they're dry. Alright, so I've had these drying probably for, I don't know, almost 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and scrape it off. What I'm going to do is start with the 0.25 and then work my way up to the 1 grit. That way if there's any grit contamination, it won't matter, because we're going 0.25 to 5 to 1 micron. So basically what I got is I've got it dried on this plate. I'm just going to take a plastic putty knife and I'm just going to scrape it off. And I might have let it dry too long. It wasn't this difficult to get off the last time. I just ran the knife across it and off it came. This might be a good time to go ahead and try that oil trick. So I was informed to put a dab of oil on the leather and the compound to help soak it in. So that's what we're going to try here, just in a corner. Just going to dab a little bit of oil and spread it all around. This strop is trying to bow up, especially back here at the end. Alright, so I got oil on that. Now I'm going to kind of scrape it again. Not really helping. Well, at least you can see the compound now. So I'm going to let that roll as is. It might be too much compound, it might not be enough, I don't know. I'm going to stick that off to the side. I'll let it dry some more. since I put a little dab of oil on it. And we're gonna do the same thing to this guy. This is the 0.5. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse off my putty knife. Get rid of that paper towel. We'll try it without the oil first, see how it goes. If it doesn't look like it's peeling off, then we'll put a dab of oil on it. This one's coming off a little bit better. See, that's how it came off on me last time. It just kind of spooled up. I'm going to go ahead and put a dab of oil on this. Just to work that diamond paste in. Got a pretty big glump right here. Get that off. Again, I'm going to scrape it with my putty knife. Is this the correct way to do it? Hell, I don't know. You guys tell me. Again, you can see the paste on this pretty well. That's a pretty heavy amount of oil, so I'm going to blot it off. Now I've got this paste all over the kitchen, or all over my counter rather. So give me a minute, let me get this cleaned up. And this is going to be the tough one. This is the 1 micron. I'm just going to go ahead and dump some oil on it. Get this working in. If you're curious, I'm just using baby oil. There we go. I'm gonna let these guys dry, and hopefully they will start acting right. Well, Jeff, what do you mean they'll start acting right? Well, I mean, maybe they'll start polishing. Because from what I've seen, diamonds don't polish. I don't know if it's just been my application of it on these strops or what. Again, guys, I am open to suggestions on how to do this. These strops are very smooth leather. They're not the rough stuff. I've got a, hang on, let me grab it. I've got a 4-sided DLT strop here that is brand new and unused. Now it's got coarse, smooth, coarse, smooth. I've thought about putting that diamond paste on this strop, but given the results I've got just from the Chef Knives to Go strops, I don't want to waste my time. I mean, this is a fairly decent strop. I don't want to piss it away putting diamond paste on it if it's not going to work for me. If it's not going to do what I want it to do, which is, 1, remove the burr, which they do, but 2, I want it to polish the damn knife. If it's not going to polish the knife, it's kind of useless to me. Like I said, though, I am open to suggestions. If you guys have a better way of doing this, please let me know. I think with the rougher leather, that diamond paste would probably adhere to it better. I got very little of it left on some of these, like the 0.25 micron. I don't know if that would be enough to cover that whole strop or not. So, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Appreciate you watching. Y'all have a good one.